Hey everybody, my name is Ashley Dunn and I am a Senior Executive Sales Leader with Norwex. Today I would love to share with you guys a little bit about goal setting. I am a big goal setter. I love setting goals, especially this time of year because it is the beginning of the year. Everything's brand new. You can get a new journal, you can get a new calendar, new pens just to kind of start off fresh. And I think it's a time of year when many of us are already setting our goals, or as we call them, kind of our New Year's resolutions. We're taking inventory from the past year and just creating a vision for the next. So I think it's a great time to kind of dive into this topic, okay? So I kind of think that purposeful goal setting begins with dreaming. Now, this is something that I don't think a lot of us are very good at, especially women can tend to be bad in this area because we tend to be focused on the daily routine of life, right? We are working on getting our kids to school and we're working on dinner and we're trying to figure out, I gotta be at work by this time. What does that mean for the night before? We are so focused on the day to day that we do not take time to think about what life is gonna look like in 30 years. So I'm here to ask you, do you have dreams? Have you given yourself permission to dream? Guys, this is so powerful. Have you visualized and planned out what you want your life to look like in the future? I think we all want to have a purposeful life and make a difference in the world. But how does that happen? Does it happen by accident or does it happen by planning? Does it happen by setting a vision, dreaming a dream, being brave? Okay, so that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I actually didn't really do this before Norwex, guys. I was focused on the day to day, and just by kind of being in this company and seeing the lives of other women and being challenged and invested into, I began to dream. And so I want to do the same for you guys. I want to challenge you to dream. So for this next month, I want to challenge you to create a vision notebook, okay? I want you to go get a pretty journal or a pretty notebook, something that you are going to enjoy looking at for the next, especially month, every single day. And I want you to divide it into sections, okay? So I want you to break it down into years of life. So 30 years. What do you want your life to look like in 30 years? Break it down into 20 years. To 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, and 1 month, okay? And within those time categories, I want you to have different relational categories, okay? So what do you want your spiritual life to look like in 30 years? What do you want your family life? What about your career? What about your friends? What about your resources? What do you want all of those areas of life to look like? And I want to challenge you to be brave, okay? So throw off the box that you might have around you right now and think, if I could have anything in this world, what would it be? And I want you to write it down, okay? That's so powerful to write it down. It's probably the biggest thing you can do to make your dream actually come and to fruition, is to write it down, put it in words so that you can see it in front of you, okay? So I'm going to give you some examples. What do I want my life to look like in 30 years? I wrote down a couple different things. I want to, hopefully my kids are grown and they're having kids of their own, and those kids are playing sports and being in programs and music, whatever they're doing. I want to be able to travel and visit them and see all those things that they're doing. I want to be able to not worry about finances and not have to worry about what this plane ticket's going to cost. My kid, my granddaughter has a music program. I want to go see it. I want to be able to travel the world and visit missionaries that I hope and I pray for the resources to significantly support and impact those areas of the world. I want to go visit them. I want to spend long weekends on the beach in a beach house that we own and that we allow people to use throughout the year, guys. Can you just visualize this? It kind of brings tears to my eyes to think about these things and to open up my mind to the possibility, could these things actually happen? And I want to challenge you to do the same. And everyone has different dreams and goals. And guys, I want so badly for our teams to be a place where dreaming is safe, where there are no qualifications on our dreams, right? I think we have the tendency to qualify and say, that will never happen. I could never do that. I want you to forget those qualifications, those hindrances, those things you think will limit your dreams, and I want you to throw them out the door, okay? I want you to just be safe, to dream a dream that maybe only you and God know. And here's the thing, maybe you and only God know it because He put it in your heart, and it might come to fruition someday. So what are your dreams? What do you want to see in 20 years? Do you want to start a school? I don't know. Do you want to support 10 compassion kids? Do you want to build a home and pay for it in cash? Do you want to pay for all of your kids' college in cash? And guys, don't be afraid to dream dreams that have resources involved, because you know what? Money is a resource, and it is the love of money that is the root of all evil. But if you're using money as a resource and you're using it to be generous and bless people and provide for your family and to do good things, guys, it is a good thing. It's our hearts that make money evil, and it's our hearts that become greedy, okay? So don't be afraid to dream dreams about that. That's something I've had to be freed of, if I'm honest, okay? So what does that look like for you? Do you want to adopt? Do you want to support adoption? Do you want to travel? You guys, the sky is the limit, and that's the beauty of this. This is a notebook that you're going to put before you and you're going to think about and kind of visualize in your life, okay? So don't be afraid. So a couple tendencies that I think we have when we start doing this that will kind of pause our pen in its tracks is the qualifications. Like I just said, I could never do that. We don't have the resources to do that, okay? So just forget about the qualifications. Be courageous. Dare to dream. If your dream is one thing, dare yourself to make it a little bit bigger. Do you want to start one school? Okay, challenge yourself in 30 years to start 3. Do you guys know that Debbie Bolton's dream to have a U.S. Center for Research and Development product was a dream? That was a dream, and I think she said that it had to be put off several different times. Like, it was a dream that she had hoped would be accomplished a long time ago. So you guys, you know what? We might not accomplish the dreams in the time that we think we will, but when they're on our board, when we're thinking about them, like they can be put off. But get them in writing, get them in front of us, okay? Be thinking on them. Okay, so finally, don't limit your dream based upon what your current circumstances or resources are. Okay, so some of the things that I've experienced thinking to myself, or I've heard from people, is I'm too scared to. For me, guys, it was I am too scared to talk in front of people. I could never do that. I could never stand up in front of a crowd and talk to people. I could never make a video. I could never be on Facebook Live. You guys, those are so limiting. We are limiting our, we're just limiting ourselves. So could we develop a skill? Could we make a habit to develop a skill to be able to speak in front of people? Yeah, we could. And so could you. Okay, what about this? We could never afford to. I talked about that a second ago. We could never afford to pay for cash in a house. Pay for a house in cash. Really? What if, think about this, even if we just put Norwex into this picture, what if you or me had 4 parties a month? That would net about $800 in cash a month, which would mean that it would be a mortgage payment or a car payment, which would net a debt snowball. If we're wise, right? If we're wise with our resources, could that debt snowball cause even more of a snowball? More of a snowball? Could we pay cash for a house in 20 years? Who knows, right? What about this? I'm too busy too. Are we really too busy? Or maybe do we spend a lot of time we don't realize we do? Or maybe is it a phrase that makes us feel good about ourselves? Okay, so let's stop limiting based upon what our current circumstances are. What about this one? My husband would never want to. Do we know somebody else's heart? Truly, like, do we know that circumstances will never change? What about this? If, like, I don't know. Anyways, you guys just think about those things. Be aware of the qualifications and limitations that we put on our ability to dream. Okay, so I think that I'm trying to put this into words, but like it has to the exercise of dreaming has to be built. Okay, you have to actually do it. You have to make it a discipline, I believe, to dream. Okay, so what about this? Go ahead and make this notebook and think about it every day. If you do a quiet time with the Lord, be prayerful over this vision notebook. Lord, what would you have me to dream? What do I need to believe about you, and what do I need to believe about myself that these things could actually happen? What is the calling that is on my life? And write down those. Just write them. Okay? Who knows if they'll happen, but writing them down sets them into action, right? I think that the vast majority of great things in the world have been accomplished began as a dream and were broken down into goals and then finally habits. Okay, so next month we're going to talk about how to develop the habits that turn our goals into dreams. All right, I'm going to leave you with one quote. Okay, she turned her can'ts into cans and her dreams into plans. So the first part of this equation, the dreams, that's what you're going to start with this month. And the next month, we're going to work on your plans, okay? And my plans. I'm so excited. I'm reading this book that I think is really, really helpful. And I am pumped to share it with you guys next week. Okay, I hope you guys have a great month. I'll talk to you later.